You might remember the year is 2015 and Samsung has just come out with the Galaxy S6 it's one of their first phones to have a built-in wireless charger into it. The previous phones also had wireless charging compatibility like the S5 and the Note 4, but you had to buy the wireless charger, the pad for your phone separately and put it inside your phone. Back then phone used to have removable backs, right? So you can install it yourself. But with the Galaxy S6, they started making their own Samsung wireless chargers, and in order to sell them, they started making all these marketing claims, and they even made these cool animations trying to make wireless charger as a big deal, and it worked. A lot of companies started implementing wireless charging on their phones, and back then it was just like 10 watts, so it's pretty slow. But still, it was cool not to have any cables directly attached to your phone, just to keep your phone on a pad and it would start charging. Technology when it first comes out, it's really cool, but eventually people get used to it and they'll get bored of it. In this case, people not only got bored of it, they also realized that this thing is an inefficient piece of trash, which isn't really a solution. They might as well be using wired charging methods anyway. Now, the technology community on YouTube here especially is, I think we are guilty of making wireless charging such a big deal. Like, we have kind of praised wireless charging and have pointed out wherever wireless charging is missing. OnePlus has been a target for many years with all of their phones until the OnePlus 8 series, which did not have wireless charging. Of course, now that we have experienced their revolutionary dash charge, which is of course a subsidiary of the Oppo's Superbook charge, users didn't really care that OnePlus phones don't have wireless charging, and for very good reasons. Now, I myself was an advocate for wireless charging for a very long time. Like, in fact, this thing was on my desk for about 2 years. I pretty much used it every single day. It's a wireless charging stand which you can kind of hold your phone there, and yes, it would slowly charge your phone while it's on there. Now, I used it mainly as a stand than a charger because my phone would be here facing me at all times, so I could just easily glance over from my monitor so I can easily see my phone. So that was the main function than the charging. It does take a micro USB port at the back here, so that's how this thing gets power. The whole reason why I first started using wireless charging in the first place is because it used to charge my phone very slowly. And we know for a fact that charging a battery super fast with fast chargers reduces its life over time. So if you're using your phone for 2 years or more than that, then charging it rapidly every single day reduces the battery capacity, like the capacity to hold charge. So I thought the slow charging of this wireless charger would prolong my battery life, but I was so wrong. Not only is this thing pretty inefficient, this produces a lot of heat, which I didn't realize at first, but slowly I came to realize that my phone was actually getting hot the more I charged with the wireless charger. Like, I didn't use this to top up my phone from something like 10 to 100 or something. That'll take forever with this 10 watt power output. But I used to use it when my phone was at like 60%, and I would keep it on here for about say half an hour when I was working on something else. So by the time I'm done, it'll be charged to 70% or something like that. Lithium ion batteries don't really care when you charge them or how often you charge them, as long as you're charging them with the right voltage. Nowadays we have an option where we can disable fast charging from the settings of the phone itself, which is a good thing. So in case you want to favor your battery's health over charging speed, you can do that. But back then that option wasn't present on my phone, or at least I didn't know about it. So I was using these slower methods thinking that these are better, but oh man, once I realized how these things work and how inefficient they are, then yeah, I immediately stopped recommending them to everyone, and I stopped using it myself. Heat is the biggest enemy of battery technology, and that's why in an attempt to reduce heat, all the power conversion with our modern fast chargers happens at the charging brick itself. That's why the brick is so thick and huge. Of course, nowadays we are switching over to gallium nitride based chargers than silicon, and I've made a separate video about that. You can check it out. But yeah, basically we are trying to take the power conversion stuff away from the phone and keep everything at the charging brick itself. It'll improve efficiency, reduce heat, and also maintain battery health for a longer time while being able to quickly charge it up and not have to worry about keeping it plugged in for a very long time. None of them are a benefit of these wireless charging things. Now yes, there are wireless fast chargers nowadays that can do up to 25 watts or even 30 watts. Pretty impressive, but still it is a wireless charging method, meaning that it works through the rate of change of magnetic flux linking between the two coils. So that's never going to be as efficient as directly plugging your phone in. And besides, it's not truly wireless, right? It's not like you are carrying your phone everywhere and it's still being charged. It has to be on this pad, and it has to be on an arrangement where the coil of your phone is matching with the coil on this thing. So it has to be on that arrangement at all times, otherwise it will not work. So you can't do things like charge and wirelessly play games at the same time, because your phone will get really hot because of the slow power conversion and slow delivery of this thing. And yeah, like I said, it's overall pretty impractical really. It's just a cool novelty thing to have, and I don't use it anymore despite all of my phones having support in that. Well, in case you are ever curious to know what's inside one of these things, let's take a look. Shit. I never know how to screw properly. That's what she said. It's 40 degrees in the afternoon, and these idiots on the neighborhood side are constructing something. Thing about consumer electronics like these is that they don't pay a lot of attention to design, and this thing was made by some other company and then packaged by some other company, so it's pretty generic. Anyone can really open this. That's a lot of screws for a tiny little thing, but now we can open this up somehow. Okay, finally. And that's about it. The power conversion circuit and the charging coil with a what appears to be a heat sink, but this is plastic. What uses it? Look at that. A pretty nicely wound coil to pair with the coil in your phone. And that's it. That's all the circuitry to it. You can almost see the cables that are going from the USB port from here, and those cables are going over here, and they are being rectified to 5 volt 1 amp, and this is the coil from where the flux linkage happens with the phone, and a changing magnetic field creates electric current. You know that, right? So that's how the phone gets charged. The main criteria is that this has to align with the phone's charging disk, which is slightly bigger than this, so it has a little bit of room to move. So since this is smaller, even if it moves around a little bit, it's okay. If it goes off axis too much, then yeah, the charging automatically stops, as you saw earlier. But yeah, this is it. This is that futuristic stuff that we were thinking about. That's literally it. Oh, and this tiny sticky pad is just gonna hold it in place so that the coil doesn't move around. So it's not gonna, it doesn't get hot. So I was wondering what that thing is. No, it's not a thermal pad. It just holds it in place with the help of these grooves that are also designed to hold it as a stand with varying degrees of height. The design is actually pretty nice, and it works really well as a smartphone stand. Too bad it doesn't work too well as a charging solution. And I know for a fact that this thing is durable because I've used this quite a few times to smash cockroaches. Yeah, this thing is my wireless charger / cockroach smasher. I guess it's pretty neat as a desk accessory that also charges your phone slowly, not as your main charger, but something that kind of holds on to your phone and has it charge at the same time. I did use it as a desk accessory for the longest time like this. I would literally have it on my table like this alongside my main monitor, so I can kind of glance over to my phone, receive phone calls and whatnot. It's a cool enough accessory to show people that I can wirelessly charge my phone. But once the novelty wears off, it gets pretty boring because no one's going to wait that long for the phone to charge. So yes, until we come up with a better technology solution, wireless charging has to be removed from the list of flagship features, and it'll just be as a novelty feature that will be included in a phone. Like Samsung includes every single feature in their phone. I love them for that. But this should not be treated as a flagship feature that should be present on high-end devices, and your device is somehow mid-range or low-end if it doesn't support wireless charging. That shouldn't be the case. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are on wireless charging and if you ever used it in your life. Leave them in the comments down below, and that's about it for now. I'll see you soon. Cheers.